There comes a moment when silence becomes unbearable, when the quiet in your chest begins to scream louder than the world ever could. A moment when the weight of your unrealized potential presses down like a storm cloud ready to burst. That moment is now. You know it. You felt it. That fire deep inside. Not the one that flickers in comfort, but the one that rages in hunger. It doesn't care about your past. It doesn't ask for permission. It just burns. You weren't born to sit quietly in the shadows of your own life. You were born to rise, to push, to win. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Winning isn't about applause. It's not about the trophies or the spotlight or the stories they tell about you after the fact. Winning is a decision, a vow, a line you draw in the sand and say, this is where I rise. This is where I fight. This is where I become. The battlefield isn't out there. It's not the economy, not your upbringing, not the people who doubted you or the ones who left you behind. The real battlefield is between your ears, your mind. That's the soil where every dream is planted or destroyed, and every thought you entertain is either a seed of greatness or a weed of limitation. You don't need permission to think like a champion. You need courage. The courage to believe that maybe, just maybe, you've been holding yourself back. You don't need more time. You need more truth. And the truth is, the person you could become is buried underneath excuses you've called facts. But facts can lie, and fear can dress up like logic. And comfort is the most seductive prison of them all. You've got to rewire the way you see yourself. Stop waiting to feel ready. The storm doesn't wait. The clock doesn't pause. Why should you? Belief is the oxygen of achievement. Without it, your dreams suffocate. But belief isn't magic. It's built. Brick by brick, thought by thought, every time you show up. Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You don't become great by believing once. You become great by believing every day. In the dark, in the cold. When the voices in your head whisper, not you, you whisper louder, watch me. This isn't about fake positivity. It's about ownership. You're the architect of your destiny, not the victim of your history. Yes, you failed before. Yes, you've fallen. But if you're still breathing, you're not done. You are not broken. You are becoming. Close your eyes. Now open your mind. What do you see when the world disappears? What do you feel when the noise stops and it's just you? And the future? Clarity isn't about knowing every step. It's about knowing the direction. And vision, real vision, is less about eyesight and more about insight. It's not just what you want to do. It's who you refuse to die without becoming. Your life is a blank canvas. But if you don't choose your vision, the world will graffiti it with theirs. And mediocrity loves company. It will invite you in, offer you comfort, and poison your ambition. Don't let people with small minds convince you your vision is too big. Dream so vividly that fear starts to tremble. Move so intentionally that doubt gets left behind. You don't need guarantees. You need conviction. When you know your why, the how doesn't scare you. Because purpose is fuel. Purpose is fireproof. It's the reason you keep going when it doesn't make sense. When the results don't show up. When the doors don't open. It's what drags you out of bed when comfort begs you to stay. It's what keeps your fist clenched when life swings at your jaw. Purpose is what gives pain a point. Ask yourself, what would you die for? Now reverse engineer that into what you'll live for. You weren't put here to coast through convenience. You were put here to build, to break, to burn, to rise. To become the kind of soul that makes the universe say, they didn't just exist, they mattered. Discipline is love for your future self. It's the voice that says no when the world screams yes. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous. It's waking up early, it's staying late, it's doing the reps, it's saying not yet when you could say good enough. Discipline is how you respect your potential, not by talking about it, but by acting like it means something. You think motivation will save you? Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the engine. And when everyone else gives up at mile 20, discipline carries you to 21. You want to win? Then stop negotiating with laziness. Stop entertaining distractions. Stop letting weakness set the terms. Discipline doesn't care how you feel, it only cares whether you show up. Ideas without action are just hallucinations, and dreams without movement are just bedtime stories. Get up, move, act. You don't need the perfect plan, you just need to begin. Perfection is a trap. Waiting for the right time is the language of cowards. The right time is now. The path is built by walking, not waiting. Success doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most relentless. To those who do, every single day. The world doesn't reward intention, it rewards execution. But don't forget to feel, to breathe, to thank the war for sharpening your sword, to thank the silence for revealing your voice. Gratitude isn't weakness, it's perspective. It reminds you that every step, every scar, every failure, they were all building you, not breaking you. Look back not to stay, but to remember how far you've come. How many times you thought it was over, but it wasn't. You're still here, still standing, still becoming. And that alone is proof. The storm doesn't warn you. It doesn't knock politely. It just hits, suddenly, relentlessly. And in those moments, your ability to adapt becomes your armor. Rigidity is a death sentence in a world that evolves by the second. If you're not willing to shift, you'll be shattered. If you cling to what was, you'll never embrace what can be. Adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your values. It means finding new ways to honor them. It means bending without breaking, learning how to move through chaos without becoming it. When plans fall apart, good. It means life is calling you higher. When people betray you, good. It means you're being redirected. When everything crumbles, build again, stronger this time. The ones who win aren't always the strongest. They're the ones who adjust and advance. There's a voice inside you that doesn't quit. It whispers through exhaustion. It rises through heartbreak. It roars through failure. Resilience is not about never breaking. It's about learning to bend without snapping, to hurt and still heal, to fall and still rise. You will be knocked down. You will be underestimated. You will face days that feel like endless nights. But listen closely. Every scar is a lesson carved in your skin. Not proof of defeat, but evidence of survival. Pain is part of the process. And every time life tries to drown you, you kick harder. You rise faster. You come back not the same, but stronger, sharper, more dangerous. Because resilience isn't about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward. Every failure is a teacher disguised in disappointment. Every mistake, a map to mastery. If you're not willing to look foolish, you're not ready to grow. Growth is messy, uncomfortable. It cracks you open and exposes the parts of you that you'd rather hide. But that's the price of elevation. Winners are relentless learners, not because they want to be the smartest, but because they refuse to stay the same. You want to lead? Learn more. You want to inspire? Learn deeper. You want to win? Learn faster. Forget what they told you. You don't have to be a genius to succeed. You just have to care enough to learn and brave enough to apply. There will be days when it all feels hollow, when your strength runs out, when your vision fades. Those are not the days to quit. They are the days to ignite, to pull from the deepest well within you, the one filled with fire and faith. Faith that what you're doing matters. Faith that your scars will become symbols. Faith that your path, though rocky and brutal, leads to something bigger. Light that fire. Let it rage. Let it consume your doubts and burn away the hesitation. You are not ordinary. You are not average. You are the result of every choice, every battle, every moment you said, "I will not stay down." Now hear this, not with your ears, but with your soul. This world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. You owe it to the child you once were, to the future you're still building, to the legacy you will leave behind. So the next time life comes swinging, don't flinch. Lean in. You've trained for this. You've bled for this. You've sacrificed, struggled, and suffered for this. Say it out loud so the fear inside you hears it. Say it with your chest so the universe listens. Say it for every time you doubted, delayed, or disappeared. I will win. Not because it's easy, not because it's promised, but because I made a decision, and I will not break. I will not stop. I will not lose. I will adapt. I will rise. I will learn. I will fight. I will win. And no force on earth can stop a soul on fire.